I'm in the middle of the bed, my girlfriend is on the right of the bed, and then
What?
he's on this side of me. And I realize he gets in the bed naked. And I was like, what the fuck? Get dressed. I told you I don't want you sleeping.
It's two of y'all? Man, what y'all really got going on in there, man? What y'all really doing? What you and your homegirl doing with this man for real? Come on now.
Let me see that again. I didn't get a good look at that.
Welcome back, Motivation Nation. It is your host, Air Gordon. Hey, listen, we got sent this video, so I just want to let you guys know right up front. This is a 3-part video. So this is an influencer dating nightmare. So this is part 1. This is her telling her story. This is a TikTok influencer. Like, this guy is big on TikTok, apparently. He caught wind of her nightmare dating story time, and he responds to her story time with what he says are the facts, and then she responds to his response. So this is a 3-part series. So this is part 1. Part 2 will drop tomorrow. Part 3 will drop the following day. So just be on the lookout. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understands where we are. Okay, this is part 1. So with no further ado, let's get off into this nonsense.
A TikTok influencer spent the weekend with me, and I had to kick him out of my apartment last night because
What?
he made a content video about me while he was still staying with me.
What?
And that was just my final straw. I honestly had the most uncomfortable and weird experience with this guy from start to finish.
Okay.
I've been messaging on TikTok, Instagram, FaceTiming for a couple of months, and I truly wasn't feeling the vibe, but we just so happened to both be in New York City at the same time. So I was like, since we're both here, I might as well meet up with you and get a drink.
Okay, hold on. So you've been texting and DMing for a couple of months, and you're not feeling the vibe, but because now you're in the same city, you want to meet up with him. Oh, okay, got it. So you want to see exactly what the influencer lifestyle is about now that you guys are in the same city. Okay, I see which direction you're about to go. Okay, all right, all right. You're mesmerized by the influencer lifestyle, I see, because he's a big time influence. Okay, got it.
Yep, I was actually really surprised that we hit it off. I had a really good time with him. We spent like 7 or 8 hours together in the city, and we really enjoyed each other's company. At the end of the night, we were like, when are we going to see each other again? And he was like, next weekend, you can come visit me. Then the following weekend, I'll go visit you. And then the third weekend, you can go to a festival with me. All of my friends are going, and I would love if you joined us. Like, yeah, that sounds like a great plan. I would love to do that. Go back home, and I'm thinking that I'm going to go to his city to visit him, and I would normally get a hotel room when I'm visiting someone, but instead he starts planning his trip to come visit me in my city and is talking about staying with me in my apartment. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, but I pushed back a couple of times because I was like, I would rather go visit you. That's what we had originally talked about, but he was pretty adamant about coming to stay with me in my city. Plan was that he was going to stay with me from Friday to Monday. But as we're getting closer to Friday, the night before, I was getting anxious. I was like, I've never had a man come stay with me in my apartment. I don't really feel so comfortable about this. So I texted him and I was like, maybe you should get a hotel. That's important to note is that one of his most viral videos on TikTok is a story time about how he met a girl on TikTok, flew out to see her. She ended up being a con artist, and she lied about all of these things, lied about having cancer and got a GoFundMe, all of these things. So he was like, that's really weird that you just asked me to get a hotel because that's exactly what happened with the last girl that I flew out to see. So I feel uncomfortable now. Like, I wasn't even thinking about that TikTok. It wasn't even on my radar, but I didn't want him to feel uncomfortable or unwelcome. So I ended up giving in and letting him come stay with me in my place.
Okay, I got to stop right there. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're setting us up to play victim. Don't want to hear that. No, ma'am. You said you've never had a man stay with you in your apartment. So now you're going to let a man that you, first of all, let's run back through the facts. You guys had been texting and DMing for a couple of months. You didn't like the vibe. You guys so happened to be in the same city and spent 7 to 8 hours together. And you guys hit it off. And you were surprised that you guys actually hit it off. And now you have now made plans for this guy to come and spend the night at your apartment after you were supposed to go to see him in his city. Now he's coming to your city. And you've never had a man spend the night at your apartment, but now you're going to let this guy, who's basically a complete stranger to you, come and now spend the night at your apartment because he gave you a sad story. His most viral TikTok video was about him getting scammed. No, ma'am. No. If you're not comfortable with a stranger spending the night at your house, then you're not comfortable with a stranger spending the night at your house. You can't turn this around some different way. But I see what you're trying to do here. But let me let you continue.
He came, he was already mentioning money all the time. He was talking about how there was only Frontier or Spirit flights available and how the United flight was $600 one way. He was talking about the price of a table and a dinner, and he was complaining about money, and it just made me uncomfortable because why are you telling me about these things? Like, if you can't afford something, don't do it. Anyways, he ends up flying Frontier, and I go and pick him up from the airport. Before I picked him up, I did a background check on him, and he told me he was a luxury real estate agent. He's only ever sold 9 houses on record, and the last house that he sold was in January of 2025. Anyways, I pick him up from the airport on Friday. I was exhausted from the work week, so I end up going to sleep by like 9 p.m. He said I was snoring within 5 minutes. Saturday, our plans were to go to dinner and go out with some of my girlfriends. At the end of the dinner, the check comes and he puts his card down and it gets declined. It only got partially approved. The total was $225. The dinner got approved for $160 on his card and he had to use another card. But just something to note. But with my friends, we have a decent time. At the end of the night, a handful of people came over to my apartment to continue drinking and hanging out, and I was tired. It was like 3 a.m., and I wanted to go to bed and Irish exit my own apartment. So he came in there and he asked me, can I sleep naked? And I was like, no, that's weird, that's gross, I don't want you to sleep naked in my bed. So he went to go get his pajamas. He comes back and my girlfriend comes with him.
So wait. So you're telling us all of this, trying to disparage the guy just to get us to the part where you guys are about to lay down in the same bed together in your apartment and he wants to get bone naked? Ma'am, you're not even credible at this point. But anyway, it's a 3-part story, so let me let this continue. I don't know, because you're now gonna let a man sleep in your bed butt booty naked. All right.
I'm in the middle of the bed, my girlfriend is on the right of the bed, and
What?
he's on this side of me. And I realized he gets in the bed naked. And I was like, what the fuck? Get dressed. I told you I don't want you to sleep.
It's 2 of y'all? Man, what y'all really got going on in there, man? What y'all really doing? What you and your homegirl doing with this man for real? Come on now. Come on, just tell us. You telling the story anyway. What y'all in there doing? It's 2 of y'all, and he naked. Okay, got it. All right. Okay, let's go.
Naked in my bed, and now my friend is in the bed with us.
Oh!
Anyways, we order McDonald's. It's chill. It's like 4 a.m. at this point. We're eating the McDonald's, and I look over, and he has a hot buffalo sauce, and he dips his finger in the sauce and licks it. And I was like, ew, that's fucking disgusting.
So no, ma'am. I won't let you do it. I will not let you do it. I'm not gonna let you bypass that. You and your friend were in the bed with him, and he was naked. You're not telling us some things, and I'm going to connect the dots for everybody that's out there watching this. They were all naked. All 3 of them were naked. Okay? They did what they did. Now he's hungry. It's now 4 a.m. He eating food in the bed. He dipping sauce. He dipping sauce in the bed at 4 with 2 of them. Y'all know what happened here. He hungry after putting in all that work. Anyway, let's let her go on. Story done got juicy.
Like, I really want to make out with you. And I was like, ugh. That was literally my reaction. And I was like, I don't like to make out with people. You know, I don't like tongues. They gross me out. I'm really not a big maker outer. And he was like, that's really weird. Like, I've never had that problem in relationships before. And I was like, but I didn't want to make out with you, dude. There was no physical compatibility. I wasn't feeling the vibes. So I didn't want to kiss him. Day rolls around and we didn't do anything.
No physical compatibility, but he's in your bed naked. All right, lady. Okay. All right.
Up sleeping on the couch for like 4 hours while he watched football, and he asks me, can I end up leaving Tuesday instead of Monday? And in my head I was like, why would you want to stay? We're not hitting it off. This isn't what we thought it would be. But I was like, sure. So on Monday I work all day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. He's in my guest room like making little content videos or whatever the fuck. At the end of the day, Monday, I'm already fed up with this because I'm like, you're overstaying your welcome. You were supposed to leave today, but I was like, get through the night. He's going to leave in the morning, whatever. It's almost over. Sitting on the couch and we're both on our phones and a video pops up from his feed and he's talking and he's like, what's the weirdest thing you've ever had happen to you when you're dating someone? I once dated a girl who hates kissing. She thought that making out was disgusting. And he starts going on a rant and I'm like, I literally verbatim just said this to you this weekend. And I was like, is this video about me? And he was like, no, I got the idea from ChatGPT. And I was like, so now you're not only going to make a video about me in my own house, you're also going to lie to me and say that it wasn't about me. He's denying that it was even about me. At the end of the video, he like fabricates an ending. 70% of the video.
Hey man, all y'all liars as far as I'm concerned. This whole story you telling is a lie. None of what you saying is adding up, lady. Okay? This don't add up. Oh, I was once dating somebody, and you think it's about you after you've only met the guy once. This second time you meet him in your bed naked with you and your homegirl. Come on, man. Come on. Hey, man.
About how I don't like making out, and then the ending, he like made up some TikTok story time to like make content, I guess. At this point, I'm so fed up with this guy. I'm not having a good time, and I was just like, this is so disrespectful. You're going to make a video about me under the roof of my own home when you're a guest staying with me. And so I was like, you need to leave. I was like, you have a flight the next morning. You need to get a hotel and leave tomorrow. He's 37 years old, by the way. And he was like, you have anger problems. And I was like, no, you have a respect issue. Anyways, he leaves and he immediately blocks me on TikTok and on Instagram. After he gets his stuff and leaves, I end up having two of my friends come over and stay with me because I didn't know where he was going. I didn't know if he was going to come back and knock on the door. I was just super uncomfortable. Like,
See what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Now we going into being a victim. I didn't know. I had to get two of my friends to come and stay with me. I didn't know what he was going to do. Ma'am, you had a whole nother friend over there with you, and all three of y'all were in the bed together. This man has been with you since Friday. He's done absolutely nothing that would be considered dangerous. Otherwise, you would have been gotten him out of there. So what I'm starting to surmise is something didn't go your way along the way here. Either he didn't please you two, or there was something that he promised to purchase or promised to do for you that he did not do, and now you're angry making this story. Because I've been around a bit. I've seen a lot of things, and I know when somebody's leaving something out of a story. But anyway, I just can't let you get on. I just can't let you get to this point and start playing victim, talking about you thought he was going to do something. Come on.
get out of my house. And the reason I didn't want to post this video was for two reasons. Is one, because
Well,
I
you
obviously
posted it.
made mistakes. I shouldn't have let him come stay with me. I shouldn't have met up with someone who's a content creator in the first place. But the second reason is because he's clearly a liar. I've seen him lie to my face multiple times, like all these different white lies. And I also see him lie on the internet all the time. So I don't know what the fuck he's going to say about me on the internet, but I also don't care because this is what happened. And it was one of the weirdest experiences ever. So if we learn anything from this, is that you can't trust everything you hear on the internet, and you probably shouldn't meet up with people on the internet. And if someone is feeling and acting weird and talking about weird things, they're weird, and you shouldn't give them the benefit of the doubt. And that's the lesson I learned. Would never do it again.
Well, what you should have learned is maybe you should get to know a person and actually have more conversations with them outside of a 7-hour rendezvous that you guys just so happen to be in the same place at the same time, and then start scheduling to meet ASAP. And you guys don't even live in the same city. So you should have spent more time actually getting to know this guy. But I believe personally that you were more elated and kind of starstruck because he's a influencer that's very popular on TikTok. And I believe that that is what you got influenced by. You got influenced by the influencer, and therefore you allowed a lot of things to happen, thinking that maybe he had more money than you thought, or he was going to be able to introduce you to some things or take you to some of those influencer events. And when these things didn't happen, I believe now you have a little bit of remorse as far as the decisions that you've made. And that's perfectly legal and that's okay. But you can't start to play victim as if you didn't have anything to do with this. I understand at the end you're trying to say, what you did wrong, but I don't know what he was going to do and all that. We're not going to play that game. But look, that's part one. We're going to look at part two, and part two will drop tomorrow. So thus far, let me know what you guys think about what you just heard. But stay tuned. Part two coming. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.